Imagine waking up in the morning, swinging your legs over the edge of the bed, and stepping onto the floor, only to realize you cannot fully feel the ground beneath you. It is a strange, unsettling sensation, like walking on layers of thick cardboard or tightly packed cotton balls. For many seniors over 50, this mild tingling or dull numbness in the toes is brushed off as poor circulation or the natural consequence of growing older. But what if that quiet, creeping deadness in your feet is actually an urgent distress signal from a nervous system under attack? Most seniors never realize this until it is too late, ignoring the faint whispers of their bodies until a simple walk to the mailbox becomes an unpredictable hazard. What doctors rarely explain is that by the time you notice your feet going numb during a quiet evening, a cascade of structural damage may already be unfolding deep within your body's longest cellular pathways. In a moment, I will explain exactly why this happens and how a hidden nutritional deficiency or a sluggish metabolic pattern might be quietly stealing your stability. If you are committed to defending your physical independence and want to discover the practical, research-backed truths that can keep you moving safely through your golden years, please take a warm moment to subscribe to Dr. Silas Redford Wellness and like this video so we can continue navigating these vital health discoveries together. Consider the experience of a man named Arthur, a 74-year-old retired postal clerk who spent decades standing on his feet and prided himself on his steady, independent stride. One evening, while relaxing in his favorite armchair, Arthur noticed a faint prickling feeling in his right big toe, almost like tiny ants crawling under the skin. He shrugged it off, assuming his socks were too tight or that he had simply sat in an awkward position for too long. Over the next several months, that subtle tingling slowly expanded, creeping across the ball of his foot and spreading toward his ankle until his feet felt constantly cold and wooden. And the worst part is, Arthur did not realize his sensory loss was rapidly progressing until he fumbled on the stairs one afternoon, completely unable to feel the lip of the step beneath his shoe. When he finally sought a comprehensive medical evaluation, the underlying cause of his imbalance shocked his entire family because it had absolutely nothing to do with a typical injury or his age. Many people immediately assume that numbness in the lower limbs is purely a mechanical issue, perhaps a pinched nerve in the lower back or a tight muscle grouping in the hip. While structural alignment is incredibly important, what happened next to Arthur opened his eyes to a completely different biological reality. When you cross the threshold of age 50, the tiny microscopic blood vessels that supply oxygen and vital fuel to your peripheral nerves begin to narrow and lose their youthful efficiency. This cellular starvation causes the protective insulation surrounding your longest nerve fibers to gradually degrade, a silent process that medical specialists refer to as peripheral neuropathy. Think of these nerves like delicate electrical wires running all the way from the base of your spine down to your toes. When the outer coating frays, the electrical signals spark, short-circuit, and eventually fade into complete silence. But what is the hidden trigger causing this cellular starvation in so many active seniors who otherwise feel completely healthy? The answer often lies hidden inside your routine fasting blood work, specifically within a marker that many standard checkups fail to investigate deeply enough. Most people associate nerve damage exclusively with severe blood sugar spikes and advanced diabetes, which is a major factor, but a surprising number of non-diabetic seniors suffer from a stealthy condition known as insulin resistance. When your body's cells become numb to the hormone insulin, excess sugar lingers in your bloodstream, acting like microscopic shards of glass that slowly tear away at the delicate walls of your smallest capillaries. This means that even if your doctor tells you your blood sugar is completely fine for your age, your nerves could still be quietly suffocating from a lack of proper blood flow hour after hour. Stay with me, because understanding this distinction is the exact turning point that can save you from a future of chronic instability and a loss of personal freedom. There is a common myth circulating in alternative wellness spaces that you can completely fix nerve numbness simply by soaking your feet in warm water or applying a specialized herbal lotion. While a soothing foot bath can temporarily stimulate the surface receptors in your skin, it does not alter the underlying metabolic terrain or repair the deeper structural damage occurring within the nerve bundle itself. True recovery requires a mechanical and nutritional shift that addresses the systemic environment inside your bloodstream, allowing those starved nerve cells to finally receive the building blocks they need to regenerate. A massive piece of this puzzle that is frequently missed in senior healthcare is an invisible epidemic of nutritional malabsorption that quietly accelerates after age 50. As our digestive systems mature, the stomach naturally produces significantly less acid, making it incredibly difficult for the body to extract essential micronutrients from the food we consume. The most critical of these micronutrients is vitamin B12, a foundational element required to maintain the myelin sheath, which is the protective insulation surrounding your nerve pathways. If your body is low on this single vital nutrient, your nerves will begin to short circuit, causing bilateral numbness, which means both of your feet begin to experience that dead, wooden sensation simultaneously. If you wake up in the middle of the night feeling like your lower limbs do not belong to you, it is rarely a sleeping posture problem. It is a metabolic distress flare waving in the dark. The true emotional weight of this condition is something I witness far too often in my consultations, and it is a reality that deeply breaks my heart. I have seen strong, fiercely independent grandmothers give up their morning walks with their grandchildren, not because they lacked the muscular strength, but because they could no longer feel the connection between their feet and the pavement. They felt vulnerable, anxious, and disconnected from the world around them, quietly accepting their physical decline as an unavoidable consequence of turning a page on the calendar. But I am here to tell you with absolute certainty that you do not have to passively accept this progression as your final destination. In a moment, I will share the exact practical steps you can take tomorrow morning to help restore the health of your peripheral circulation. But first, we must look at a common daily mistake that is actively crushing your lower limb health. Think about the chair you sit in while watching the evening news or reading your favorite book. Do you frequently sit with your legs tightly crossed at the knee, or do you relax on a sofa that presses firmly against the back of your thighs for hours at a time? This prolonged, static pressure acts like a physical clamp on the sciatic nerve and the major popliteal artery behind your knee joint, starving the lower leg of vital oxygenated blood at the exact time your nerves are trying to rest and repair. By making a simple conscious effort to keep your feet flat on the floor and taking a brief 2-minute standing stretch every hour, you immediately lift that physical clamp and allow blood to flow freely again. Furthermore, dynamic physical retraining does not require grueling hours at a traditional gym or lifting heavy, intimidating weights that put your joints at risk. Longevity research continuously demonstrates that seniors who maintain the highest levels of nerve health engage in low-impact, fluid movements that gently challenge their balance and coordination. Practicing deliberate slow-motion movements like Tai Chi or dedicated heel-to-toe standing balances helps stimulate the proprioceptors in your feet, which are the specialized sensory receptors that tell your brain where your body is in space. When you actively challenge these receptors for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you force your nervous system to build new pathways, essentially creating a stronger, clearer signal that can bypass older zones of cellular damage. Alongside movement, optimizing your daily nutrition can act as a powerful internal shield to protect your remaining nerve function from further systemic decline. Integrating foods rich in natural antioxidants, such as deeply colored leafy greens, fresh walnuts, and clean sources of healthy omega-3 fatty acids, helps drastically reduce the internal inflammation that suffocates your capillaries. When you lower systemic inflammation, your blood becomes less viscous, allowing it to easily glide through the microscopic vessels feeding your toes and fingertips. Every single mindful meal you choose, and every glass of pure water you drink to stay hydrated, serves as a direct investment in the long-term resilience of your nervous system. I want you to try a simple, reassuring self-assessment tonight before you turn off your bedside lamp. Sit comfortably on the edge of your mattress, take a deep breath, and gently press the tip of your index finger against the bottom of your big toe and the ball of your foot. Does the sensation feel sharp, crisp, and immediate, or does it feel distant, muffled, and slow, as if there is a barrier between your skin and your awareness? If the connection feels fuzzy or delayed, do not allow panic to set in. Instead, let that observation serve as a powerful catalyst for proactive change. Your body is not permanently broken. It is simply communicating an unmet need, and you possess the absolute power to respond to that whisper before it ever has a chance to become a scream. As we bring this vital conversation to a close, I want to leave you with a profound sense of hope and personal empowerment for the days ahead. Nerves are remarkably resilient structures, and while they repair themselves at a slow, deliberate pace of about 1 millimeter per day, they can and do respond beautifully to a healthier biological environment. Arthur managed to reclaim his steady stride, and countless seniors just like you are successfully defending their personal freedom every day by refusing to let numbness dictate their limitations. Your journey toward lasting vitality is shaped by the small, gentle choices you make this very evening. Please take a moment to scroll down to the comments section and share your own experiences with leg health or any questions you might have, as your personal insights could be the exact source of comfort a fellow viewer needs to discover today. Be sure to share this information with your spouse, your siblings, or any friends who might be quietly struggling with their balance, so we can all look forward to a future of independent, vibrant living. This is Dr. Silas Redford, reminding you that your health is your greatest freedom. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.